Show you how to import an Illustrator file. Let's open up the Illustrator file first. And one thing that I do when I'm working in After Effects with Illustrator, if I hit Command N or New Document, it gives you some options here where we can do film and video. And one of the reasons why I like this, first off, it makes sure everything's in the RGB color space, which is critical for After Effects. It will not work very well at all with an RGB space or a CMYK space. So make sure you're using an RGB color space. But the other thing that it does is it creates the document based on the resolution of the file that I want to use. And it automatically creates, you can see that made a new document. And everything's transparent, and it gives me, some title safe boundaries and other things. So it really works well in just setting up a document that I know I'm going to be importing into After Effects. Sometimes I'll set this up too and work this as artboards, so I can kind of plan out my storyboards and whatnot. So here's just a little quick animation that we can kind of work with. So I just made a bunch of different shapes and whatnot. And what I've done is I've put them on their separate layers and labeled them all. And the reason why I like this is because what I can do then is import this into After Effects, and it will recognize all of these different layers and make a nice composition for us. So sometimes organizing this in Illustrator, or you can do the same thing in Photoshop, and it will make your projects a lot easier to manage. So let's go back to After Effects. I'm just going to double click in the project folder and open up this demo file. And it will then ask us this question: do we want to import it as footage, which would be everything flat, or a composition? And I want to do it as a composition. And I'm going to do it as the document size, which was that format, which is the same size as my composition I've set up here. So, and as you can see, it opens up a new folder with your layers. So here's the different content of the layers that we had from that Illustrator file, and it also opens up a separate composition with all of that content in the same order as the Illustrator file. So now what I can do is animate these different parts. And so we'll talk about that in the next little video.